Hello guys, my name is Dan. Welcome back to my live stream here. Excuse me, still a little bit under the weather, so pardon me for that. So I wanted to get you guys together to really just talk about what the price has been doing. It's been kind of mooning recently. I wanted to talk about it. Is it a good time to buy Omi? And that's a very tricky question that I wanted to address today. So I wanted to see what technical analysis can show us today. So I know I had some questions. Sai says, how could you please share Eluvian crypto symbol you invested where staking is 500%? I am going to address that for you because I did talk about Eluvian on my channel. There is a really good return there. It's a little bit complicated. You don't just buy the tokens. So I'm going to show you a guide that I used because honestly, it's very confusing. And there's people out there that did a really good job. So if you can just wait there, we will discuss that as well. And if I forget, just please mention it down in the comments below. So Omi Price, it's doing something we haven't seen in quite some time. And there really hasn't been a precipitating factor, right? Typically, we understand Omi to move based on news. For example, when they released Marvel, they announced Marvel, Omi pushed up to, the 4.0 type level. I think it was even a little bit higher. But now it's actually mooning without any obvious, clear precipitating factor. Now, if you're in this business like a lot of us are, the YouTubers, the influencers, you're an investor, you've been keeping up with this for 3, 4, 5 months, you know that there's big things coming in the pipeline, and most likely that's what's pushing it in. We are slowly pricing in the Eluvian not Eluvian. We are slowly pricing in the immutable migration, right? So that's what this price movement represents. People are buying in preparation for this to moon when they formally announce it. And there is a strategy saying, what is it? Buy the rumor, sell the news, or something like that. So there is a chance, there's a possibility that we will have a dip once immutable is formally announced. But what is going to happen to the price? Is it going to drop down back to the 2.5 level? I personally don't believe that. I think it will drop, but we don't know how far this price is going to go. Are we going to hit 5.0? Are we going to hit 6.0? When it does drop, is it going to drop back down to 5.0? We don't know these things. So I wanted to talk about, hey, All Chat Gaming, thank you for the super sticker. Hey, I always appreciate you guys' donations. It goes straight to the channel. But at this point, you want to save your money a little bit for something like Omi. So I appreciate the donations. Please don't donate too much. I don't want you to donate $20 or something like that when you could put that into something like Omi. So, but I do appreciate each and every donations. It gets me excited. So let's do some technical analysis here. Let me share this page screen. Let me see what that actually looks like to you guys. So, oh, what chart was it? Was it we're looking at the 1 hour chart here. And, we've been trading at this pattern, 3.5, 3.8, something like that. And recently in the past couple of days, you all know it's just ballooned up in price here. We are currently trading at the 4.6 level. Now, the question is, what's going to happen? Is this a good time to buy? And one thing I like to look at in terms of technical analysis is the Rsi Strength Indicator. Now, as you can see here, this is at about 7.0. So anything above 7.0 on the RSI typically does indicate that it's overbought. So typically a correction is due. And we see that here where it did kind of shoot up in price, really overbought. It did dip down a little bit going below here. You see that, and it's kind of going back up. Now, I still think this is a very bullish pattern. Even though this is technically overbought, I still think we have a lot more room to move. The reason being we have higher highs, right? Higher lows. That's typically a bullish indicator. Now, I think something like this is very obvious. It's obviously going up. You don't need technical indicators to tell you that. So I still think there's a lot of potential room to go. Remember, I don't give out financial advice. It could very easily go sideways, but I think things are pointing towards us going a little bit higher with this immutable migration news. This is a critical level, and it's interesting that it kind of stopped here, because if you look back a long time ago, gosh, that's a little bit too confusing. Let me push this chart back up here if it wants to cooperate with me. You see here, this is, let me just pull this up. This was like in July timeframe, right? There was a lot of good news announced there. This has been a kind of critical level. We're talking like 4243, and it has blown past it with no clear signs of really stopping. I mean, I think it could go up even higher. And this is just my opinion. I don't want you guys to spend a lot of money banking on something I say. This is just my opinion. I'm not advising anything one way or the other. But as you guys know, I've been waiting on a real estate transaction to actually close. So I haven't received those funds yet. It's actually a large sum of money. But I have been waiting for these funds. And actually, kind of interestingly, I want these funds to get into my account so I can immediately push it back into Omi. And I was hoping I would be able to capture, kind of the 2.5 level, but I'm kind of too late. So now I have a decision to make. I can take some funds I have set aside, my emergency fund, so to speak, and I can actually can buy some Omi with that, and then actually pay back my emergency fund in a few days. I could do that. My wife gets pissed off at me when I take funds from the emergency funds without letting her know, buying some investments. But I think I might have to do that. I am going to watch and see what this price does, because I do think that even though there is more room to grow, to go up, because it's breaking past some levels, we could have a slight correction. And I don't know where that could go really, but I mean, a correction for me would be maybe 4.0, it's possibly it can go there. All Chat Gaming gave me a thank you, man. I appreciate that. So anyways, the point I'm trying to get at here is we could go sooner. We could moon a little bit more, go up in price. We don't really, don't let anyone delude you into thinking that they know exactly where it's going to go. This is all opinion. We just don't know. I know that immutable migration is coming up probably in the next 2 weeks. It will be announced. So that's 2 weeks of price potentially going higher. What would be a good price? I don't see it testing 1 cent prior to the immutable migration. What also I don't know is, once the immutable migration is announced, are we going to see a dump? Are we going to see a little bit of a dump? And I actually forgot to talk about volume, because I thought that was an interesting topic here. Let's go to volume. Am I sharing that? Yes. Okay. Let's go to volume. Let's go to maybe a 2-hour chart. Open that up. The volume is actually really good. These are the classic massive sell walls, but we're having some big buys that's pushing this price up. And interestingly, it seemed like buyers just swallowed up this massive sell order here. So someone is trading and taking profits on a regular basis. I don't think that's wrong. If I was in a position where I had that much Omi to buy and sell, I would probably be doing the same thing. It's not wrong. It's not illegal. It's not even unethical. It's just smart. So good volumes kind of supporting this here. So let's take maybe some questions, and then maybe we can pivot to something something related to Eluvian. I know some people wanted to talk to me about that, and I can show you guys some stuff here. So what do you guys think? Where are we going? Are we going to the 5.0 level? I mean, are we going to be 5.0 on Monday? Wills says, I think it's a bit overextended in a short amount of time. I think that's valid. That's definitely valid there. Frankie Boy thinks it's going to find support at the 4.0 level. I think that's reasonable. I think that's a good price target. I think I already talked about this. Thank you for the donation. Pedro, I have to reach my goal on Omi, and this pump is not helping. Yeah. You know, when you think about it, if you had bought at the 2.5 level and let's say it hits 5.0 in a few days, you basically doubled your money. Now you're going to get, on one hand, you doubled your money, right? But on the other hand, if you made purchases, you're going to get, less Omi, like 50% less Omi, right? All Chat Gaming, hey, thank you for your donation, buddy. I appreciate you. I try to schedule these things, but sometimes I need to find a good streaming schedule so maybe people can get to my stream a little bit easier instead of just randomly popping up in people's feeds. And guys, I don't know if you saw my interview yesterday with Financial News and Views. It was actually a really good interview. That guy's really, really cool. I think we helped bump him up in subscribers a little bit. So if you guys haven't already, check out that interview. It's got over 3,000 views right now. So that's really good for me. It was a really good interview. He's a really smart guy. Check out his channel. I am planning some other content in the future, other interviews. I'm working on getting a few people. I am still waiting for some of their responses, but I'm trying to get some good interviews going. I also want to interview some of the YouTube creators. I'm working on that right now. On one hand, I have a busy life as well. I do work. I do shift type work. So some weeks I'm really busy and other weeks I have a little bit more free time. So stay tuned for that as well. Frankie Boy says, I am finally an Omi millionaire. LFG. Congratulations. Like I said, 1 million is a perfect goal. It's a very reasonable goal for quite a few people. And I think if you hit that, you're going to capture a lot of the upside there. Top Killer says, seeing Omi pumping while I have no Omi breaks my heart. You know, there was a lot of people even 2 or 3 months ago that would have said, I'm glad I'm not in Omi because it just goes down. And now people are FOMOing in like a mofo because they're missing out on something that we have talked about for a long time. I've been talking about this for months, and I've had a lot of people say negative things, and that's okay. You know, investments aren't like a religion. Like it shouldn't bother us if someone else is not investing in something we're investing in. I mean, kudos to them. To me, it's not a big deal. I don't take it personally, and neither should us. Zach R with the donation. I got enough. $4.99. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the support. Remember, all proceeds goes towards the channel, not in my pocket. Someday it will, but not now. Jishu says, to the moon. Jishu, Omi, yes, finally we are going to the moon, guys. I'm hoping we hit 1 cent by October. To me, 1 cent is pivotal to break in order for us to enable us to go even higher. And I am very excited. Remember, I think Randy Chavez says he has about 95 million Omi now. Just put out some content out there. I think he sold some Bitcoins. So at I forgot what the calculation was. Was it 1.2 cents, 1.3 cents? He's a millionaire, and he made $100,000 with this recent price movement. I mean, golly, that's amazing. And I think we have a lot more room to grow. So I am not advocating for you guys to just dump a bunch of money into Omi, but I think if you have some, you already see the vision of where Omi is going. It's a good time to buy. Lisa H, Daniel, and Omi homies. How's it going, Lisa? I'm waiting for MTL, Danny. Yeah, MTL is going to be huge too. And I just saw this on, I forgot his exact username, but on Twitter, he mentioned how last time we hit 1.3 cents or whatever it was, we had Omi to gems. So once we get that, expect a really good pump as well, because I think that's key for a lot of people. A lot of people have been complaining about that, and as soon as we get that, it's going to be great. Are you guys up, by the way? How many of you guys are up right now? I haven't, I don't know my exact cost basis, but I think I'm in the green actually, because my first Omi purchases was I did a Ethereum to Omi pair. I think it was like 7.8, maybe like 8.0 something. It was something like that. So it sucked for me because not only did Omi drop from those prices, but I also saw Ethereum go up. So I lost both sides of the transactions. Kind of sucks. Canadian 14. Let's get back to 0.0025 and keep those fast burns going. Most of the people are going to hate you for that comment, but I personally would have liked one more drop to the 2.5 level, and I'm being greedy here because I wanted to get my money into some cheaper Omi. But I'm also satisfied that we are going up. It kind of makes me feel better about my investment, that we aren't going to just, this is not just some rug pull project, right? It's just not. Marvel, Paramount, we're getting that Star Trek drop here soon. They're not putting their money in a rug pull project, right? They do their due diligence, severe or crazy due diligence. They got lawyers. I'm sure they do background checks into all these people. I'm sure they're trying to figure out who these people are, and they've passed these tests. This team is legitimate. I mean, also another thing I want to talk about is they do AMAs every single week. They take interviews with people in the community, people with small YouTube channels. I mean, what else do you want these guys to do? Do you want them to come to your house, eat your food, tell you about how awesome Omi is? I mean, what do you want them to do? Like, this is the best that they could possibly do. They're very open, very transparent project there. So great. Let's get some more questions here. Lorenzo says, Dan, can't it be some kind of manipulation by some whale that is buying the hype of the rumors? That is always possible. That is always possible. But remember, I just showed you kind of the volume analysis there. We saw a big purchase, and then we had a big bunch of sales, and it didn't really drop the price that much. I mean, once we're getting to the point where there's a lot of volume, a lot of the retail investors are buying into Omi, it's going to eat that volume up. We're starting to get to the point where their trades don't matter as much. And whales are in every single project. You can't get away from it. But the more history there is with the Omi token, the more people who are buying and selling, who see the pros and cons. The pros of Omi token, you're going to see less whale involvement because whales eventually sell. And the thing about whales, yes, on one hand, they're manipulating the price. We've seen evidence of big whales manipulate the price, probably for their advantage. That's a rational capitalist thing to do. But once you're trying to sell, you're not going to just dump it all, because you're just not going to get your sell order in. You want to just do small sales to not bottom out the price. And that's the best way to capture most of your money. That's what happens in Wall Street with big hedge funds. They can't just do a massive buy because it plummets the market. So big whales are going to do the exact same thing. So I am not really worried in the grand scheme of things. In the short term, could something happen? Yeah, something could happen. But in the long term, I'm not concerned. Waldo says he got in at 0.087. I think you forgot 1 0 there, unless someone ripped you off. I'm sure that's not it, though. Okay, what about Omi unlocks? This is a good question. Ivan says, what about the Omi unlocks? Is all Omi unlocked? No, we still have, I believe we have like 3 more founder unlocks left. Now, founder unlocks are only a big deal if they dump. And we really haven't seen any evidence of that. We haven't seen any evidence of them dumping. And I wanted to let's just talk about this because I think it's a good one. Let's talk about the Omi Founder Wallets, okay? So let me pull up some information here. While I am working on this, try to think about some questions that we can go over. I have there was a document going around a while back. It had a lot of the founder wallets, and a lot of the founder wallets are not touched. So my question here is, why wouldn't they touch it? Why wouldn't they sell? Well, they might sell a little bit because maybe they need a little bit of money. They've been working hard for a couple years, but they won't sell because they see the value of the token. That's almost like if Jeff Bezos, when he was working on Amazon in his garage, he went public. That's almost like if he just dumped all his Amazon shares. Why would you do that? He had a vision of where Amazon is going. And even now, even today, he sells occasionally to fund his rocket project. And that's what I think a lot of these founders will do. They're not going to just dump their tokens on the market here. So let's look at some wallets. Let me get this ready here. Go Chain Explorer. Let's see if that's a good wallet here. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit under the weather. Still got kind of a mild upper respiratory infection or cold. So please bear with me here. It's not a good wallet here, so let's find another one here. Okay. Let's just give you one example here, guys. We will share some Omi Founder Wallets here. What is that? It? Okay. Let's share that. Okay. This is a known founder wallet. You see here that there's 1 billion tokens, right? Is that 1 billion? Yeah, 1 billion tokens. Hasn't moved. No transfers there. Hasn't moved. Hasn't moved at all. Let's see if we can get another one here. Another founder wallet. 1.1 billion there. Hasn't really moved at all. Really not even touched. Maybe we can get another wallet. And that's the thing about blockchain technology. You can track this stuff. I mean, there are ways to hide it. You can transfer it to a different wallet, transfer it to an exchange, transfer it to even a new wallet. There's ways you can hide your transactions. But if they haven't even left the original wallets, to me, that says that, look at this one, 7.5 billion tokens. This is one of the largest wallets out there, 7.5 billion tokens. Not moved at all. Hasn't moved at all. So I hope that alleviates there's always a risk. Everyone can dump. And if this was a rug pull project, this would be a big time to dump, but they have a legitimate business. Why would you cash out now when the price is so low? It's not like, well, I don't want to say other tokens because people get so upset. It's almost like I insulted their mom or insulted their religion or something when I talk about other tokens, how I don't like them that much. Leader says, should I invest into Immutable X? I'll do a video on it soon. We don't know a whole lot of, well, there's a little bit of promotional stuff. I think it's good. Immutable X is going, Eluvian is going to be going to Immutable X. Omi is going to be going to Immutable X. They already have a lot of good projects. Layer 2 solutions are the way to go. And you want to pick the ones that people are already using because it just builds market strength. It allows them to get really good intelligence on how good their product is. It gets harder and harder for other people to develop layer 2 technology. So Immutable X is definitely the way to go. I think that's a solid investment from what I know so far. Not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. Alex says, are you disappointed you couldn't buy a lot for cheap, or is this another pump? It's clearly a pump, right? Very clearly a pump. I am a little disappointed. I would have preferred to have gotten more at the 2.5 level. I mean, honestly, the biggest mistake I ever made was not buying more at the 0.0011 level. That's the lowest it's been this close. I think that's one of the lowest prices we've seen this year. Close to, if not the first, it's the second. And I kind of gave into the FUD. I was a little bit fearful. I was thinking it could go even lower, like to 0.0005, and that's why I never made a buy. And I kind of regret that, but that's fine. Imagine if you got at those prices, though, you would be up like over 4x on your investment. Great. BitBoy's predicting BTC at 100,000, and Lark says more. Bitcoin says top will be in October, and Lark says December to January. This is a quick amount of time for Omi to find 0.025 during this run. Agree? 2 cents? They're not that connected to each other, so I don't like to make those assumptions, but I think that's possible. Any update about Omi Gaming? So I wouldn't get too excited about Omi Gaming. The reason being is we don't know what they have planned. They have said a light layer of gamification. That doesn't sound like an awesome, crazy, ridiculous game like Eluvian to me. It doesn't sound like that. If Omi moons, would Immutable X moon too? Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, I don't know what the business model is, but I'm guessing that Akomi is paying a price to Immutable X to use their layer 2 solution. So I would imagine Immutable would also go up as well. I mean, let's look at Immutable, actually. Let's look at Immutable X. Let's just talk about it. I don't think I've really talked about it too much here. Let me share something here. Man, I just got so congested all of a sudden. Oof. Sorry, guys. Okay, introducing IMX, the native utility token of the Immutable X protocol. Be rewarded for your contribution to Ethereum's first ZK rollup for NFTs. Immutable X is powering some big names here, right? We have Okomi, Gods Unchained, Eluvian, OpenSea, all these other things that really I don't know who these guys are, but maybe you can do some research on them and let me know. But these are some big names. Okomi is a big name. OpenSea, Eluvian, Gods Unchained. I mean, this is what's powering their ecosystems. And it must be because it's awesome, right? And they're going to have a token. And there's a couple things you can do with this token. Governance. Use your IMX to vote on the future of Immutable X. Proposals will be published on Snapshot and will be related to the future development and expansion of the protocol. You can vote. 20% of the protocol fee on every Immutable X transaction must be paid in IMX. If you do not currently own IMX, Immutable will convert the fee by purchasing IMX on the open market. So you get 20 cents of the protocol fee on every Immutable X transaction must be paid. So that's a good reason alone to get some Immutable X. Staking, you can stake. People love stake and they love staking. You see what I did there? All fees paid in IMX are sent to the staking reward pool. Users can earn a proportional share of this reward pool by staking their IMX. I love staking. Staking is a great way to make more money. How does staking work? So you take 100 IMX, your stake represents 1% of total staked. So that's staked by all users. 100 is 1%. It goes to the staking reward pool. Therefore, your rewards is 1% of the total reward pool. You get 500 IMX rewarded to you. That's great. Great way to make passive income. How do I earn IMX? Excuse me. You can earn IMX by completing actions which benefit the protocol, such as trading, earn points, receive IMX rewards. How much of the supply is there? There will be 20 million IMX created, issued, and distributed by Digital Worlds NFT, a partner of Immutable X. The Immutable X token will be distributed in the following areas: ecosystem development, that's where most of it goes, into developing the layer 2 solution further. Project development, token sales to the public and private, 4% for foundation. That looks pretty good to me. How does the rewards pool work? Each day, the protocol will allocate a certain amount of IMX to the rewards pool. You have 100 points, 100,000 total points. You earn 0.1% of the total points. Therefore, the daily reward pool, you earn 10 points. I kind of don't understand that, to be honest, but there you go. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Hopefully I didn't lose a lot of viewers talking about Immutable X token, but so anyways, I am interested in getting it. You know, you can get a coin list early ICO private sale there. Americans can't because of regulations, but that may or may not be a good option for you. But you know, no, not financial advice, of course. Nothing is financial advice. It's just my opinion. Omi to the moon. Okay, I guess this is a great time maybe to talk about Eluvian. Someone talked about Eluvian, and I talk about it on my channel as well. Let's look at Eluvian. Let me share this screen for you guys. And just for full disclosure, I have a small amount, relatively small amount on Immutable, or excuse me, Eluvian. Getting these all confused, to test it out. And I haven't put out a lot of content because I still feel like I am in the research phase. I don't want to share something that I really don't know anything about. So I'm still researching it, but it's a good opportunity, I think. Everything's been working out pretty well so far. So let's go to the Eluvian staking page. As you can see, you can get 76% if you stake it on Eluvian, or if you stake some Eluvian. That's a good return in and of itself. If you were a hedge fund and you got this return for your clients, you would be filthy, filthy rich. But even better, we have the Sushi LP. This you can get 555%. And it's gone down since. I mean, even in the past like week and a half or so, it used to be like 644%. Now it's a lot lower. Probably represents people jumping in, trying to stake their tokens. The more people who are staking, the less you would receive, because there's a set amount that they are releasing to people. So that's really good. How much have I made personally? Let me see here. Oh, that's actually not right there, but I have to take a look at that. I think there's a mess up here. That's fine. Let me just try one more time. Here we go. I have staked a relatively small amount, and already within a course of a week, I think. Let me see when I last staked it. Staked it on the 26th, so about a week and a half. I've made $200 worth of ILV. Part of that is the fact that ILV has gone up since then. And the other part is I am staking a lot of it on Sushi Swap. So if you are interested, I want to show you guys a good thing, a guide, a YouTube guide, where this guide is really good. That's what I use, because staking Eluvian is very, very, very confusing. And remember, if you do decide to do that, you have to take a look at the gas fees. The gas fees are really outrageous. Do the math, but generally speaking, I think it's in your advantage, in your favor, if you still stake at these prices. So let me share that screen here. Let's see, I think it was this one. This guy does a really good break it down for you type step-by-step guide, and he goes through it Barney style, so you won't get confused at all. I definitely referenced this a couple times. His channel is Blockchain Gaming World, Eluvian staking ILV tokens. I can maybe put that in the description down below if you guys want. A little bit later there for you guys, but very, very good guide here. So definitely check that out. Okay. Let's just go through some comments here. Super Duper Hank says, when Daniel said to calm down on the donations and use it towards Omi or something to better yourself, you, sir, got my respect. Subscribe. Hey, I really appreciate that. And the reason I say that, you know, I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. Obviously, I get a little bit excited when people donate. So there's that. But only please just donate just for fun, just a small amount. You know, there's a lot you can do with some of these donations, but I appreciate your support. None of it goes to my pocket just yet. Someday, if I have 1 million subscribers, it definitely will. But it all goes towards the channel. So I even bought some equipment recently. So, Austin donated quite a bit of. I need to find where that is. Let me just go through these super chats real quick. All Chat Gaming says, I want to sell my NFTs for Omi, but I've grown attached to them. I'm up. Dollar cost average all the way down. Left fell out. Glad I didn't sell my ADA like Cavell did, though. Did he? I have some ADA. It's done really well for me. My only regret is I didn't put a little bit more, but this is my strategy to avoid FOMO. Like, let's say you're looking at a project, let's say like Eluvian, and you're like, oh man, I'm FOMOing in. Should I sell my Omi? Should I put it into Eluvian or whatever it is? I just put a small amount in there. I just put like $500, $1,000 into whatever project. That way I don't FOMO in. I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of exposure to that project. And that might, sometimes I've even put as little as like my friend got me into Doge coin because he made like, well, at the all-time highs, he could have cashed out for 70,000. He didn't. But he still has it, so it's worth a lot less now. But I put a little bit of money into Doge just for fun, just to be able to kind of keep up with him, and so I don't FOMO into it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because Dogecoin is something that I don't think I'd be able to sleep well at night. So good for you, man. Oh man, there's a lot of comments I got to get through. I'm missing some. I'm sorry, guys. Austin, dude, man, thank you very much. $200 donation. I can't thank you enough. I appreciate it, man. I think that's the largest donation I've ever received. Hey, Daniel, I think I remember you saying a few times that Omi can't do Omi staking for more Omi because of regulation/laws. So why can ILV do staking for more ILV? That's a good question. Now, what I will say is I don't think Eluvian is a American-based company. Let me try to figure that out real quick. Yeah, it's an Australian-based company. And so that's basically it. Regulation is coming, guys, especially in the US. And the good thing about regulation, they create rules that really are designed to protect people. When you hear about all these rug pull projects, that's what the SEC cares about. They're caring for the little guy. Now, what they decide to do doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to. Sometimes even hurts the economy. But in general, that's what their goal is, to protect the little investor. Imagine, even back in the day, there was a lot of projects, even 5 or 6 years ago, that don't exist. What happened to those people who invested? Probably have no money right now. So regulation is coming. And the reason why the U.S. can get away with regulation is it's the biggest consumer-based economy in the world. If you want to be a big player, eventually you have to conform to our rules. Now, Eluvian is, let me just show you this. Let me just share this page for you. Eluvian, where was that? Here we go. Eluvian is a Sydney, Australian-based company, private. So that's how they can do it. I'm sure their laws just aren't as strict. And America's laws are really strict. Even, I used to trade on Gate.io for Omi, and even now I can't do that. And even the immutable X token private sale, ICO, I can't participate in it because they do know your customer, and they know I live in the US because I put a social, I have a driver's license I put up there. Can't use a VPN because they know your demographics. So that's why I think they're going in this direction. Now, this is all, I'm not sure I've heard the Omi team directly say that you can't stake for more tokens or for profit, but it doesn't fit what they're trying to do with their Omi Collect VV app. So that's what I think. Again, Austin, I appreciate the donation. I really do. Please, guys, just, I like donations, of course, but, my family, we have really good jobs and we have a good income. I appreciate the donations if you want to support the channel, but please, if just you small amounts, please. If you're going to donate, just save it for some Omi. You know what I mean? But hey, Austin, thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone wants to buy the dip until the dip happens. Exactly. Spot on here. Bought my first Omi at 0.0008. And although it's painful, I'm glad to have been a buyer during this dip. Now my cost basis is less than 0.003. Yeah, psychologically, we all want to buy when the price is going up because we don't want to miss out. And we don't want to buy when it's lower. And there's a psychological reason for that. We are more, like, you take gamblers. It doesn't feel as good when you throw your dice on, I don't know what these games are. Like, is it roulette or the one where you throw dice? Gosh, let's just say roulette, right? You put your money on roulette, you double your money. That feels okay. It feels good. But what feels worse? How about if you lost that money? That feels so much worse. So we're so risk adverse. So psychologically, that's how we are. So if you can conquer that psychological aspect as an investor and go against the grain, you're going to do very, 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 very well. But you have to have a high degree of conviction, and you have to know yourself really well. So the psychology of the investor really matters more than any sort of investment strategy. Okay. We'll take a few more. Man, we got 236 people in here. That's really amazing. It's really great. By the way, guys, I haven't talked about too much, but I am planning a virtual party, 1 cent virtual party, and I'm thinking about hooking up with Kyle Wilson and hosting a 1 cent party. Now, I haven't talked about it too much because Omi, at the time I brought it up with Kyle, it wasn't anywhere near 1 cent. But now we're getting into striking position, right? We're at the 4-6 level, something like that. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not misspeaking. Okay, we're at the 4-6 level. We're sustaining there. And we roughly just need to do double up, and we're in striking distance of 1 cent. A lot of people will be happy. I'm hoping the people who stuck with me, who didn't panic sell, I hope they're going to be greatly rewarded. And I remember in my early stuff, my early channels, or my early videos, I said that if you want to get off this train once the price starts to go up. If you have realized that Omi crypto investing is not for you, definitely at least wait until you are at least break even or maybe a small little profit and just get out. That's fine. No harm, no foul. Not financial advice, but you learn something about yourself, and maybe someday in the future, you will have some greater degree of conviction in an investment. So there's that. Room says, can internet computer return to $800? I did a video about internet computer because I think it's actually really cool what they're doing, or at least on paper. I don't think it will go to $800 for a long time. And I remember my video on it. It was, I don't know what it was trading at, maybe 300, 400 bucks. And I remember saying, don't buy now, just wait, because it's going to go down to at least the 250 level. That was a huge level of resistance or support. And I never made a video after that, but I'm hoping if you saw that video and you took that advice, you didn't buy into ICP because it plummeted. I mean, it's the worst investment of any recent investment of any top 50 token, I think. It did so poorly. But, if you bought it the $35, that would have been a good time to actually buy some ICP because I think you would have doubled up by then. I don't want to do internet computer, at least right now. I like their premise. I like the fact that they're backed by real legitimate hedge funds, venture capitalist funds. But other than that, I wouldn't put any money into it for now. Danielle Lee for persistent or present, stay home, stay home. Okay. All Chat Gaming says I'm there for the 1 cent party. Yeah, I mean, Kyle is down. I like Kyle a lot. Kyle is a really cool guy. I like his channel. Really legit dude. He lives around my area too. So I would love to host something with him, do a collab there. So really good. 1 cent party. And who's doing the 5 cent party? I've seen people talk about that. That's already being planned. we need to get like some sort of committee or Telegram group or Twitter group or I don't know, something like that that's planning this party, because sooner or later I'm sure people are just talking now. They're thinking maybe 5 cents is going to be in a couple of years. It might be this year. I mean, granted, with the illness going around, I wouldn't want to have an actual party and get a bunch of people sick, have some super spreader event. But we need to start planning a party. And I'm thinking maybe we can have Tulsa, Oklahoma as a potential site. We have the Gathering Place, one of the best free parks. It's got a great little story there. It's funded by the city. A bunch of people, rich people in our city is funding this. It's great. It's a great free park. Kids, families love it. I would love to take you guys around that area. Then there's a lot of casinos. If you like that, if you like gambling, hopefully, 5 cents. Maybe if you put a lot of money in there, you have a little bit of money to blow. So 5 cents would be, great to go play at the casinos. We have a lot of great hotels, a lot of good barbecue, some good Mexican food too. So basically, I'm positioning Tulsa as a cheap place to have a party. But I understand if you want to go somewhere sexy like Las Vegas or New York, I understand that. But anyways, Cosmo says, person not to follow for financial advice, Vegas Dave. Yeah, I saw his stuff about Omi. That guy doesn't strike me as trustworthy. So he just has the vibe about him I just don't trust. Ugh. Danny says 5 cent party in Las Vegas. Okay. I'm okay with it. A Business says, what was your MOS in the Army? My MOS in the Army was, at the time, it was called 98 Charlie. It changed over to 35 November. That is a signals intelligence analyst. And when I was in Iraq, it's actually kind of a cool story. When I was in Iraq, I worked in one of Saddam's palaces. So we were working at core level. So that's a high level. We were supporting the decision makers, so generals and stuff. And I had some great experiences there. I worked on some really cool stuff, all top secret. Now, just because it's top secret doesn't necessarily mean it's like really amazing stuff. Like, what are they doing at Area 51? It's all segregated, so I didn't have access to anything cool. But I did work on some really cool stuff and some interesting technologies and things like that. And I don't know how much I should share about that, but really, it was really cool. I worked in a palace. That was my working environment. It was a Perfume Palace in Camp Victory, Baghdad. I've met I shook hands with some generals that, you would recognize on TV. And he had like this protective detail. It was really cool. He had, Army bodyguards. They had these awesome big old SUVs. And actually, President Biden actually visited Perfume Palace, and I was actually part of like the security detail for that. Basically, just these guys just like in the perimeter where, if something actually happened, I'd be the first one killed. But, it was still pretty cool to say that I participated in that when he arrived. Really, really cool. I probably shouldn't talk too much more about that, but it was an interesting time. That's one thing I enjoyed about my time in the military. Had some really interesting stories, did some really interesting stuff. Ooh, A Business says he got coined by 4-star Petraeus and OEFX. I did not. It was General Odinero. He had this really massive coin. I actually gave that coin away to someone, but it was really cool. I wish in hindsight, I shouldn't have given that away because it was a really cool memento. But that was really cool. I shook his. He's a big dude too. Petraeus is just as awesome too. General Petraeus, really cool guy, right? At least I think he probably was. Orange bag lady in the house. Hey, Dan. Hey, I saw. Was it you on the Women of Vivi? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you were there. You were there. That was good stuff. Are you guys planning on doing more stuff there? See, my thing is, first of all, we need more women representation. If you look at my channel, I think it's like 4% women. And I don't know. I don't think it's purposely sexist or anything, but I just think that crypto, something like that, seems to cater more towards men. I don't know, but I would love to see more female representation here. Hey, Orange. Oh, I missed that there. Pop FX says, hope you get well soon, Dan. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. A Business says, I remember him as well. General Ordinary was the crap dude. Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. I actually saw him I saw him multiple times. It was a pretty cool time. I mean, we did some amazing work there. I would never want to go back though. Interestingly enough, some people, they did their deployment there, went back to the States after our deployment was over, got a contracting job, went straight back there doing the exact same job, making like 6 figures, tax-free. Kind of crazy time. I wouldn't go back though there. It was kind of a little bit depressing for me, but I came back unscathed, so no harm, no foul. Orange Bag says, yes, dude, we're keeping it going every week. I think we're going to have a ladies spaces on Friday too. Bros are always welcome though. Yeah. I think it's really good. Females need to break out and kind of do their own thing apart from us dudes, I guess. But it's really cool to see. I'm glad to see that. And the way you think about it too is it's not just a social thing for me. It's if you can tap into that 50% of the population getting into VV as well, that's 50% of the population. Imagine those burns, imagine those burns. I never met General Mathis. I think it's Mathis, right? Never met him. Yeah, I mean, his Marine Corps, so I never would really meet them, So Mars says, $1 is a $1 Omi even realistic? A lot has to happen. We need to burn a lot of tokens. By my own analysis, which could be wrong, by my own analysis, we need to see at least 50% of those tokens burnt. And with all the things coming up in the pipeline, I think that's possible. I think they're going to have so many things we can burn to buy features or maybe get early access to things. It's kind of like, well, I think it's realistic, but a lot has to happen. When your mom and dad and your grandma and grandpa both know about the VV app, then we're going to be $1 plus when that happens. That's my opinion. Now, if it doesn't happen, I mean, how long is that going to take? It's probably going to take at least a decade for something like that to happen. And I'm talking like $1 plus. I think that in 5 years, we could be at $1. That's my price prediction. But it could be a range, 25 to 75 cents. I've said that before. Either way, if you have a good amount of money in Omi, you're going to be doing really well. All Chat Gaming says, can we get some likes? Yes, please like this video, this live stream. It really helps with the algorithm. It really helps push this content more so I can grow. My goal is to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it's looking like we are going to hit that soon. I would love to have 10,000 subscribers, but I think that's going to happen maybe next year if things go well. Yoo-hoo says he wants to join the Army. The way I think about the Army is, I'll tell this, I don't want to share this story just yet. I'll share it another time about why I joined the Army, but you join the Army because it's going to do a lot of good things for you. I joined the Army because I needed a way out. I needed a break from school. I was getting burnt out with school, and it got me a lot. I got out of the Army, I had GI Bill. I was able to pay for my nursing education, then my master's. I became a nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioners make really good money, $100,000 plus. Some people in my job, actually, they work a lot. They get a lot of overtime. They get a lot of bonuses, but some of them make $200,000 a year. I don't make that, but that's the range. So I owe that all to the military for giving me discipline to be able to finish school like that. Also, what did the Army provide for me? They gave me VA loans. I could put no money down and get a house. And I'm selling that house, and I'm getting a good amount of profit from that. So I owe a lot. There's a lot of risks with the military. You can die. You can get post-traumatic stress disorder. You can watch your friends die. Some of my people I knew aren't around anymore. I don't want to get into that, but there's a lot of risks. But if you are able to make it, you can come back unscathed. and it taught me so much. I would do it once, but I wouldn't do it twice. All chat gaming. Can we get some likes? Thanks, man. I want to talk about this question here. I'm going to make a video about it soon. I'm going to plan on making the video maybe Monday, maybe push it out sometime next week. I saw a Reddit video about Disney potentially buying Vivi. Do you have any thoughts about that? I do have thoughts on it. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, but I don't think we should be scared of anything like that. And I'll talk about it in my next video. Sorry about that. All hail Shang-Chi. When will this be an NFT for Vivi, Dan? Thanks. I don't know. I don't know if we're ready for an Asian NFT. Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for your service. Yeah, I'll be honest, like on one hand, I made a sacrifice, but 90% of it was for me. I guess that's, and there's no problems with joining the army or the military or whatever for your own purposes, right? It's a mutual exchange. I am trading potentially my life, my health for something, and they're getting some sort of benefit out of it, then I'm getting a benefit too. So I think a lot of servicemen, they feel a little bit uncomfortable when they hear that because it makes it sound like it's selfless, and it definitely wasn't selfless for me. And if it was, great. But I always feel a little bit uncomfortable because they definitely gave me something as well. We'll give it a few more minutes. I'm going to end this stream we're at 56 minutes or so. So we have time for one more question. I like to end it I don't like these streams to go on too long, but maybe we'll do one more question. If one day we reach $1, do you think the fact that all earlier cash out will affect the price a lot? I mean, people are going to cash out all the way from even now, from 46 cents or 0.0046 to wherever we go, we're going to have cash outs. I mean, if you saw the volume chart there's people selling all the way through. And even big whales like Randy have talked about how plans to cash out a little bit. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's multiple strategies to this. You can't expect people to hold until we get to $1, then I'll sell. But I think the price will still grow regardless. We don't know exactly, but I think it will. Should I buy 1 million Omi? This is all my free money right now for investing. I can't give financial advice, but I know if I have enough money to buy 1 million Omi right now, and I will buy soon. So that's my opinion. That's not my advice to you. We're all in different situations. Were you in the service too, man? Or were you Navy? Were you the one that said you were in the Navy? Well, thank you for your service. A buddy of mine was in the Navy too. And, actually my choice of service was originally I was going to go to the Air Force because my dad was an Air Force officer. He retired as a lieutenant colonel. Wanted to follow in his footsteps. They're like, nah, I wanted a reserve duty or part-time. They're like, nah, we are only taking full-time right now. So then I was like, see ya. Walking out, talk to the Army, and they're like, we can offer you a $16,000 bonus. We can offer you GI Bill. We can offer you any job you want because your scores were high enough. I could have done any job I wanted in the military. Originally, I wanted to be a linguist, which is like they teach you a language, and it's the DLI school. It's the best language school in the U.S. and probably the world. If you can hack it, that you can be fluent in a language in 1 year. Any language, Arab or not Arab, Arabic, Mandarin, Russian. I mean, maybe not just 1 year, maybe within 2 years, 1 to 2 years, just depending on the language. So anyways, I didn't. So I just decided I wanted a bonus instead. And originally I was wanting to become a military officer, like a Army officer, maybe an Intel. Then I actually did Intel as a job. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, man. It's not doing that. Okay, maybe one more question and I'll end this. I got my lunch ready here. Let's see. Sorry if I couldn't get to your question. There was a lot of people here. Surprisingly, I thought I saw one more question. Let me try to explain this question here. Okay. It says, Dan, can you explain me something? I have a look at the holders, must be around 137,000 at the moment. This number isn't increasing fast, but the price is moving. More trust in the OGs, can't be new investors. I think this price to the 4.6 level, let's actually share this screen, I guess. Let me share this so I can talk about that. First of all, I think your number is correct from what I saw as well. So, we were trading at some levels here. It's been flat for a long time, right? 2.5, 3.0. It's been there for a long, long time. And I think what this represents, a lot of people sitting in the sidelines with money who are into Omi, waiting for an opportunity. And that's why you see some pumps like, I don't know if that's a correct pump. Anyways, we know that it pumped before and it came right back down. So people are scared. They're like, well, I'll just buy at these low levels, have it pump and sell, and then it'll come back right down. So I think this represents a lot of people sitting in the sidelines, including myself, who are ready to put a large amount of money in Omi because they're waiting for it to pump, for it to go like a NASCAR car just going. That's what they were waiting for this whole time. And that's what this represents, this huge pump. So yes, it shows when we have 136,000 wallets that we are so early. I think my wife no one knows about Ecomi. No one really knows about Ecomi yet. We are getting to the point where people are starting to hear about it. But we're the early adopters. And so what this represents is just our money, our small pool of people pumping this price to 4.6, and probably we will eventually get to 1 cent just on us alone. As we start hitting mainstream, as we start getting new products like the Viviverse, like Omi to NFT, we are going to introduce ourselves to so many people. A lot of people know about us, but we're early. So no matter what price you buy it at, if you buy it at 2.5, if you're an OG from 2019, you bought it at, I don't know, 0.000005 maybe. Did it even go that low? I don't know. I'll have to look. Where was I going with that? I forgot. But we are very, very early. So no matter what price you bought it at, that's where I was going at. No matter what price you're buying at, even if you're buying right now and you buy the top of this short-term maneuver here, even if you buy at this top, you are still so early. We are going to hit at least 10 cents, I think, within 2 years. So if you believe that like I do, what does it matter what price you buy it at? You're still going to have a huge profit. That's what I think about that. That's what I think. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys coming to my live stream. Please like the stream. Leave a comment down below. I'm going to leave this recording up. I think it was a good stream. I think we talked about some good stuff. So I have some other videos coming. So stay tuned for that. I have some interviews. I'm trying to get in touch with people with some interviews. I think you'll really like these guys. They haven't confirmed with me yet. They've expressed interest. So I will work on that. Still hasn't responded to me there. That's fine. I'm working on some good interviews. Taps actually has a good interview as well. I think they're working on it. I think you will really enjoy that interview. And then maybe I'll have some good interviews as well. If you guys have any ideas of who you want me to interview, I'm interested in interviewing content creators. I'm interested in interviewing people on Ecomi. I don't want to interview Rsi right now because I feel like he just answers the same questions. There's nothing unique that I would bring to a Rsi interview. But I'm interested in big whales. Randy Chavez has a really interesting story. I think whale stories are interesting. So leave me comments. Let me know. People have reached out to me, and I've reached out to those people that they recommended. Some aren't ready, and I want to do more interviews because I think they're fun. Anyways, long story short, leave some comments down below. Interview the janitor at VV. Hey, you know what? I think it was essentially crypto. He made a joke because I interviewed Foster Hill, and the title of that was interview the Ben Gadinzi interviewer. And look what came of that, Rand. It actually was Ben that we interviewed at the end. It was so surprising. I was not ready for that. So interviewing the janitor at Vivi could eventually lead to interviewing someone like David Yu or Dan Crothers. I mean, I don't think I'd be ready for an interview like that. Interviewing Staying Alpha. I think I can arrange that. I think I can arrange that if you're interested. Let me know. I'll maybe ask. Do you guys like Staying Alpha? I don't really. I know who he is. I can reach out to him. We're a little bit connected. I'll think about it. Let me ask him. See if he's interested. See if he has the time for me, or if even the desire. So, anyways, guys, please like this live stream. I'll see you guys in my next video. We'll do more live streams later if more exciting news comes out. So, Omi is pumping. All right, guys, take care. Have a good weekend. Okay, stay safe.